You flushed the toilet, and instead of going down, the water came up in your bathtub. Dirty, cloudy, maybe with stuff in it you really do not want to think about. If that just happened in your bathroom, you are in exactly the right place. And here is the first thing you need to know. The problem is almost never your toilet, and it is almost never your tub. It is the pipe that both of them share. By the end of this video, you will know why the water lands in the tub, how to figure out where the clog actually is, what you can clear yourself, when you have to call somebody, and roughly what it costs. I have spent a lot of time digging through plumber guides and talking to people who clear these lines for a living, so I can walk you through it in plain language while you are standing there staring at the tub. Let me start with the why, because once you understand it, everything else makes sense. Every drain in your house eventually feeds into one big pipe called the main sewer line. Your toilet, your tub, your sinks, your washing machine, all of them dump into that single line that carries everything out to the street sewer or your septic tank. Now picture that main line getting blocked somewhere downstream. The water from your flush still has to go somewhere. It cannot push past the clog, so it backs up and looks for the lowest opening it can escape from. In your bathroom, that opening is almost always the bathtub drain because the tub sits lower to the floor than the toilet rim or the sink. So the dirty water rises up through the tub. The tub is just the messenger. The real trouble is downstream in that shared line. This one symptom, water coming up in the tub when you flush, is the clearest sign there is of a main sewer line clog. Plumbers treat it as a dead giveaway. So before you touch anything, do this first. Stop using all the water in your house right now. Do not flush again, do not run a sink or a shower, and keep the dishwasher and washing machine switched off. Every drop you send down a drain has nowhere to go but back up into that tub, and you will turn a backed up tub into a flooded bathroom floor. And do not flush the toilet a second time just to test it. It will not magically clear, it will overflow. While we are here, one more thing not to do. Do not dump a bottle of chemical drain cleaner down there hoping it eats the clog. In a fully backed up main line, that cleaner just sits in standing water, never reaches a deep clog, and now you have a tub full of caustic sludge that you or a plumber has to deal with by hand later. Okay, now let me help you figure out where the clog actually is, because that decides everything you do next. Here is the quick test. Pay attention to how many fixtures are misbehaving. Flush the toilet once and watch. If the water comes up in the tub and you also notice the toilet gurgling when you run the bathroom sink, or the tub bubbling when the washing machine drains, the blockage is in the main line that the whole house shares. That gurgle is just trapped air getting pushed back past the clog, and it is another classic mainline tell. That is the most common version of this problem. If instead it is only the toilet and the tub in one single bathroom, and every other drain in the house works perfectly, then you might have a smaller clog in just the branch line serving that one bathroom. That is usually easier and cheaper to deal with. There is one more possibility to rule out, and it depends on your house. If you are on a septic system instead of city sewer, a full or failing septic tank causes this exact same backup. The tell is whether your whole house drains slowly plus a soggy patch or a strangely green stripe of grass out over the tank or the drain field. If your septic tank has not been pumped in 3 to 5 years, that is your prime suspect, and the fix is a pump truck, not a drain snake. Now let me get into what is actually causing the clog, because there are really only a handful of usual suspects. The number one cause, especially in older homes, is tree roots. Roots are hunting for water, and an old sewer line full of it is a magnet. They work their way in through tiny gaps in the pipe joints, then they fan out into a net inside the pipe and catch everything that floats by. If your home is more than about 25 years old, and this keeps happening every few months, roots are very likely your answer. The second big one is stuff that should never have been flushed. Baby wipes are the worst offender. And yes, that includes the ones the package proudly calls flushable. They do not break down, they snag and pile up. Paper towels, tampons, and other hygiene products do the same thing. They collect at a rough spot in the pipe and slowly choke it shut. Third is grease and buildup. People pour cooking grease down the kitchen sink while it is a hot liquid, but it cools inside the pipe, hardens into a waxy mass, and grabs everything that comes after it. Add years of soap scum and mineral scale narrowing the pipe, and eventually the line just cannot pass a normal flush. Fourth, and this one is more common with kids in the house, is a foreign object. A toy, a toothbrush, a travel shampoo bottle, something solid gets flushed and lodges sideways, and now it is a dam that catches everything behind it. And the last one is the bad news cause. The pipe itself may be damaged, sagging, or collapsed. Old pipes can develop a low spot called a belly, where waste pools and clogs over and over, or a section can crack and cave in. The way you spot this one is that the clog keeps coming back within days or weeks, no matter how many times it gets cleared. That is not something a snake can win against. That pipe needs an actual repair. So what can you actually do yourself? More than you might think if you are willing to get your hands dirty. If the backup is small and you caught it early, the simplest move is the plunger. Block the tub drain first by pressing a wet rag or some duct tape over it, because that gives the plunger something to push against. Then go to the toilet with a good toilet plunger, the kind with the soft rubber flap that folds out of the cup so it seals the drain hole. Plunge it hard and steady. Sometimes that builds enough pressure to break a clog that is close by. It will not touch a deep mainline blockage, but it is free and it takes 2 minutes, so it is worth a shot first. If plunging does nothing, the real fix is to snake the main line through the cleanout. The cleanout is a capped pipe, usually 3 to 6 inches across, white plastic or black plastic or old cast iron with a square plug on top. Look for it outside within a few feet of where the house meets the ground, or down in the basement, the crawl space, or the garage. Some older homes do not have one at all, and in that case the line has to be reached by pulling a toilet, which is a job for a plumber. If you do find the cleanout, here is how to use it. Make sure everyone in the house has stopped running water so the line is as empty as possible. Then open that cap slowly and stand off to the side while you do it, because if the line is full, sewage is going to come out. This step actually tells you something useful. If water comes gushing out the second you crack the cap, your clog is downstream, out toward the street. If the cleanout is dry, but the house is still backed up, the clog is between the house and that cleanout. Either way, rent a power drain auger from a hardware store, the kind with a cable 50 to 100 feet long and at least a ½ inch thick. That runs about $30 to $60 a day. Feed the cable in slowly until you feel it hit the clog, and let the machine do the work. Do not force it, because forcing it kinks the cable or damages the pipe. Work it back and forth until the line opens and starts draining. Then run water to confirm it is flowing and seal the cap back up tight so sewer gas stays in the pipe. Now a real safety word, because this matters. That backed up water is raw sewage, and it is a genuine health hazard, not just gross. Wear heavy gloves and eye protection and keep it off your skin. The spinning auger cable can whip around and sling contaminated junk everywhere, so power augers are no joke and they can hurt you. If you are not comfortable running one, that is your cue to stop and call a plumber, and there is no shame in it. Once the line is clear, disinfect anything the water touched with a bleach solution, and if sewage actually spilled out onto your floors, that is a call to a pro right away, not a wait and see. So when should you just hand this off? Call a plumber if you do not have a reachable cleanout. If the clog keeps coming back, which points to roots or a broken pipe, if sewage is already overflowing onto your floors, or honestly, if you try the snake and it does not clear, a plumber can run a camera down the line and actually see what is wrong, which takes the guessing out of it. Let me give you the money picture so nothing surprises you. Snaking a main line professionally usually runs about $100 to $500, with the average landing around $300. If the line is greasy or full of roots, they may recommend hydrojetting, which blasts the pipe walls clean with high-pressure water and runs roughly $450 to $1,400. A camera inspection to find the real problem is around $250 to $500. Septic pumping is about $300 to $600. And if the camera finds a collapsed or root-wrecked pipe that needs replacing, you are into the thousands, which is exactly why the camera is worth it before anyone starts digging. Once your line is clear, a little prevention keeps you out of this tub situation for good. Flush only toilet paper and what your body produces, and ignore the word flushable on any wipe package. Keep grease out of your drains by letting it cool in a can and tossing it in the trash. If you have big trees near your sewer line, treat the line once a year with a foaming root killer like Root X or Zep Root Kill, which slows the roots from growing back. And about once a month you can pour an enzyme drain cleaner down the line overnight, which uses natural bacteria to eat away grease and gunk without damaging your pipes the way harsh chemicals do. If you are on septic, just keep up with pumping every 3 to 5 years. So here is the whole thing in one breath. Water in your tub when you flush means your main line is blocked, and the tub is simply the lowest exit the water could find. Stop using water, figure out if it is the whole house or one bathroom, and rule out septic. Try a plunge, then snake the clean out if you're handy, and call a plumber with a camera if it is deep, repeating, or already overflowing. Then keep the wipes and the grease out so it does not come back. I have left links to the right drain auger, the root killer, and the enzyme cleaner down in the description so you can grab whatever you need. You can handle this. Most of the time it is one stubborn clog standing between you and a bathroom that works again.